Hey guys, Gorst here for a dual wield Mjolnir build. Yes, you heard me right. Dual wield Mjolnir is a thing now. I've put up together, I think, one of the best builds you can get with a Mjolnir, if not the best. You can see from the Hydra fight right now, the single target damage is pretty awesome. I wanted to show you what we could achieve. There is a maximum DPS we can reach with this build, even with thousands of exalts, so don't get too excited. I think I maximized it pretty much. Good thing though, the build is fairly cheap. By fairly, I mean that you put 2x together and you have the maximum amount of gear you can get on this character, and the single target damage is more than respectable. You will see the Shaper fight at the end of this video. It's pretty decent. The DPS is what you can see from the Hydra fight. I tanked also in terms of tankiness. I tanked the Shaper Slam once for science. I did not die, but the second one I did die. The build I've put is optimal, but my gear is not. The character you're seeing right now is a Pathfinder. It is currently level 90, so yeah, the life is not what it should be. It's right now I have 7,200 life pool. If you push the build a bit, you can easily get to 8,000, and at this point, if you want to tank Shaper Slam, it's going to be a joke for you. The clear speed, as you can see right now, is great. Yes. This is the real clear speed. There's no swapping in here. It's the real deal. This is what you will get if you build it exactly like I did. There was a fair amount of testing involved into making this damn build. It was a pain in the dick. The idea behind it was to get a dual wield Mjolnir, because if you guys didn't know, in 3.5 Mjolnir was buffed a bit. The cooldown, the internal cooldown of the hammer was reduced. So I figured, hey, why not try a maximized attack speed build of Mjolnir? And why dual wield? Well, if you guys played Mjolnir in the past, people tend to put a shield with spell damage on it, and the difference that this shield is going to give you in terms of DPS is not going to be worth what kind of damage it will put out if you just stack another Mjolnir in there. People are always skeptical of getting the attack speed required to make it optimal, but I managed to do it fairly cheaply. As you guys will be able to notice, the DPS is very decent. We just went through syndicate members on a tier 16 map like it was butter, so that's what you can expect from this build. The cons of this thing, well, if you get into a boss fight that cannot have a curse on him, that is X-proof for whatever reason, you won't be able to leech. There is 2, I think, in the game, so it's a pain in the dick when you will know which one they are, and you will manage to kill them once you do, but the first time you're going to hit a wall and die. So yeah, no hardcore for this build though. It's not a hardcore build, honestly. You're full melee. You won't die a lot. I died fairly rarely, and I don't expect you guys to die much, but it might happen, so I wouldn't go for hardcore with this thing. Guardians are a breeze. You can face them pretty much everything. See the Phoenix Cry there, didn't even half life us. Honestly, the only thing that I did die to was Minotaur twice. I got unlucky with my rock stacks, so yeah, he stacks a bunch of rocks on me and I died once. But yeah, other than that, we can take pretty much everything. Phoenix Cry at this stage of the game we cannot though. When you get enough fire resist lowest, he will kill you. I think I died once in that fight. Yeah, that's right there. So yeah, you can tank pretty much everything, but if you exaggerate, you might die. Other than that, as you can see, it's fairly tanky, and I think if I would have pushed it to 8,000 life like I could have, I wouldn't have died from that Phoenix Cry right there. There's no swapping of gems, although I would suggest strongly a swap from a flasks when you're doing Shaper. It will all be explained in the build guide. If you guys have any questions on the mechanics, because the attack speed per second and everything that was to reach, and the decision making of this entire build, please check the written guide that will be up after a couple days. Alright guys, so let's get into this. The build is very tanky. We have over 7,000 life. Take into account that I did not optimize this build. The build is optimized, but not the items. Neither is my level, so you can easily push this thing up to 8,000. And at this point you can tank everything, slams, and everything else that could come in your face. Map clear speed, as you could see, was super fun. You can do the entire game content with this thing. There's not a problem. It's cheap. Very, very cheap. You can do pretty much everything with the gear. You can do everything with the gear I have now. It's just that I would say one of the cons of the build, one of the only cons, is that you cannot push it further. You can make it tankier in terms of everything if you add more life and like on the pieces I have, and you add more life into the skill tree. But you cannot make the damage higher than what it is now unless you, well, not very higher, because I have my arc level 20 and not this one's 19, it should be 20, and I didn't put any quality on my gems. So it's an everyday man build. It's something that I put out. I spent around a week and a half testing every single Mjolnir build out there. If you want more details as of why the choices I made for this thing, check the written guide I will put up in a couple days. It will explain to you exactly why we're playing what we're playing and why not another choice. But for now, I will just explain to you what you need to have, exactly what I have, and have the clear speed and the single target I do have right now that you have saw. There's going to be a shaper kill after the build, so stick up if you want to see that. Basically, we need 2 Mjolnirs, a yellow hat, cover your resist with this thing. We need Instrumentus. Not a must, but Mark of the Shaper, if you can get it, it's pretty sweet. And we're using a Warlord's Mark on hit. We cannot do a no X-proof map. It's one of the only ones we can't do. No X-proof and no Elemental Reflect. If you get one of those, you gotta dodge it. The belt, cap your resist, as you can see, is pretty cheap. I have nothing in here that's expensive. Maybe Instrumentus is the most expensive one. Boots. Try to focus on movement speed if you're clearing. When you have enough chaos and enough currency, just buy a good pair. But if you can't cap your resist, just get some movement speed and try to cap your resist somewhere else. It will make the mapping smoother. Repentance glove are a must. Then again, if you want to know all the choices I made and why, check the written guide. There will be more details in there. For now, if you just do a copy paste of what I have, you're going to have an insane clear speed, a lot of fun, and single target damage is going to be great compared to other Mjolnir builds you have been playing, I guess. Vessel of Victor puts everything together here. 10% more damage from the shocking. No reason not to play it. Plus the lightning resistance. Resistance that we pass by. We're playing a Pathfinder, so we have the luxury of being able to use a Vessel of Victor. Silver Flask, remove bleeding. You need this every time you're mapping. Quicksilver Flask. This is the first thing you're going to do when you start the map, guys. Get a Quicksilver and craft it like this. This is what makes you fast in map. We have around 160 movement speed. We could even push it, but I didn't. This is what you need. If you don't have this, the build's going to be sluggish as fuck. So get one. Wise Oak. Wise Oak is a must. I didn't balance my resist. I never do, because pain in the dick. Aziri Promise, I've tested other things. Check the written guide. I've tested other things. The Aziri Promise was a must because it will help for your life leech, because for whatever reason the spells we cast are not enough to keep us up. So that's pretty much it for the entire thing. One thing that is required from your ring or anything else you can put fire damage on is the add fire damage. We need that because we're playing Elemental Equilibrium, so you need add fire damage somewhere. It's a must. You need to have it. I crafted it on my rings. Like you can see, this is a shitty ring and just crafted on it. That's all I have to say. So that's pretty much it for the items. The jewel have a must. It's not an option. Gotta have two attack speed attachment on them. Every single jewel you have attack speed in life. They're cheap right now. It's 10 chaos each. That's how much I paid. If you can't afford them because you're starting, it's fine. But before you do Guardians and Shaper, you need to get this. Okay. Every single one. We're also using one Watcher's High. I don't remember where I put it, but check the paste bin. It's a pretty decent buff for your lightning penetration damage. So use it. Oh, there it is. Alright, so Watcher's Eye, going to get you damage penetration, 14% lightning resistance while affected by Rat. It's the only expensive thing I have in there, but I mean, it's not a must. It's just helping you. Like, when you get to in-game content, I would advise you guys to get one. Other than this, this is the tree. You can pause the video, but it's going to be in the paste bin. So yeah, that's where we're going to use. Elemental Equilibrium really helps for the end game once again. If you're mapping and you're not doing Guardians, you don't need it. Don't take it because especially if you don't have your gems at a high level, it's going to screw you over a bit. For those of you who are asking, well, is Arc going to hit less hard on the mobs if I have Elemental Equilibrium? Yes, because you won't hit them with Cyclone, but you're still going to one-shot every trash pack. So you need this for boss, just take it. It's one of the things I don't know why Mjolnir build don't take Elemental Equilibrium, because with Cyclone it's so easy to make it proc. We don't swap anything for Guardians or regular maps, but for Shaper, and yeah, if you get in a hard Guardian fight or you just want to do as much damage as you can, just swap the Silver Flask with Cinder Swallow. It's still going to give you Onslaught, but what we're looking at, it's the Ignite enemy. That's why you need fire damage on your ring. Every time you crit, it's going to ignite anyway. So you crit, it gets ignited. And if it's ignited, it gets 10% increased damage from everything you do to him. Yeah, it's like if you shock your enemy at 20%. So Cinder Swallow, really nice for Shaper fight. It's not a must though for Guardians, but I didn't swap it for the Hydra fight that you saw in the video, so that's kind of damage we can do without it. Then you can add another 10% on top of it if you put Cinder Swallow in there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the build. As for the core mechanics, I'll try to leave much more in the written guide because it's quite complicated, but basically you don't want your attack speed to get over 8.6 attack per second into pattern building. And yeah, for the rest of the gems, what we're looking at is Arc, Elemental Focus, Control Destruction, Ball Lightning, Slower Proj, Elemental Focus, Molten Shell, Increased Duration, Arc and Surge. Immortal Call would have been nice, but I'd rather have Arc and Surge there. The damage increase is better if you guys feel squishy because you can't get the Chaos or whatever early. Yeah, just put Immortal Call. It will help you for physical damage. Righteous Fire, we're using Val Righteous Fire here. When you're on a boss and everything is going smoothly, you just press the button, double your DPS. Wrath, Blood Rage, Herald of Thunder, Ancestral Protector is a must when you're not using Val Cyclone. You're on a boss fight, you put your Ancestral Protector further away and you get into that boss's face. You need Ancestral Protector to reach the attack speed gap. That's what makes you so much better than a regular Mjolnir without the dual wheel, is the Ancestral Protector. If it's too high level, you have too much attack speed and you get over the 8.6 attack cap. Lower the level of your Ancestral Protector, get one level 12, 13, just check with paddle building what you need, and it will help you balance your attack speed. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the guide, guys. Everything has been said. Oh yeah, I forgot, you need Fortify in here, your Cyclone. Cyclone faster attack, additional accuracy. You need a Fortify gem here. I tested life on hit. It doesn't make a difference. If you want to spend 4 exalt on a hammer like this with chance to fortify on melee hit, it's up to you, but I didn't feel a difference without the life gain on hit. So just put Fortify in there when you're cycloning. It's going to make it a lot smoother. So yeah, great clear speed, great single target. It's an all-around cheap build. If you don't have a KMs right now, you can do Belly of the Beast. This is the optimal thing for end game though, for Shaper and everything. I would get for KMs. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So enjoy the Shaper fight. And if you guys get any questions, just ask in the comment. If you liked the video, liked it, put a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. I will put every detail of the mechanic into the written guide, so if you guys have any other question, you can always ask me in the comments.
Of your unmaking.
Father, it's me. Let me help you.
The horror must be stopped. Obstacles destroyed. Embrace my misery. Failure, ambivalence, death.
Come to me. They're coming through. Stay close.
Gaze into the abyss. Imperfect.
He's trying to recover. Hurry! Let's find a way back.
These memories are mine. I cannot lose them.
They lied to you, Father. I'm your true memory.
To save the future, the past must be sacrificed.
Come to me.
Gaze into the abyss.
They're coming through.
ambivalence.